Hello again. Today we're going to turn this nearly stock Ender 3 Pro Bowden setup into a direct drive system. We'll go over the removal process as well as the installation process for the new drive and also some software changes that need to be taken into account. For this setup we'll be using an NF-DDG Wind dual drive extruder purchased from AliExpress. First thing that we need to decide is whether we get the right or the left configuration. I chose right, so this means that the motor will be placed on the right side as you look at the gear and the printer from the front. We can see that this extruder can accommodate a volcano hot end and also a BLT probe for bed leveling. There are also a few sets to choose from, starting off with a bare bone set, going up to everything included. I would recommend that you go for set 3 or set 4, given that it includes everything from the hot end to the motor to the fans and also thermistor and heater cartridge. For this video I went with set 1, the bare bone model, since I already had some equipment lying around. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's start with a quick unboxing and see what is offered in the package. A tiny product catalog is included from Mellow, the vendor from which this product was purchased. And as you can see, this is the right version of the extruder. Mellow did include some mounting hardware and tools, but as we will observe later, some items are missing. As you can see, these are the items that came with set 1. Again, I recommend that set 3 or 4 should be used as it comes with all that is needed for the conversion. Okay, let's take apart the extruder so that we get a better look at what makes it tick. The beauty of this type of setup is that it is compact. It is a mesh of extruder and hot end rolled into one, where the heat dissipates through the aluminium section of the extruder and is pushed outward by a fan mounted directly on the extruder. First impressions of the dual-geared extruder are quite good. The aluminium piece appears to be well machined, and the assembly of metal and plastic gears also look and feel like quality elements. Before we can start mounting the extruder to the printer, we need to remove the old setup. The process is relatively easy. I have some older footage that you see now, which shows the original equipment. In reality, I had to remove a mod called Speed Drive, which I had used from Thingieverse. In any case, removal of the stock gantry equipment is straightforward. As you can see here, I had already installed the slim extruder motor on my previous setup, and I will continue to use it with the new extruder. Before we can remove the heater cartridge, we need to loosen the set screw at the bottom of the heater block. Next, we remove the original Ender 3 thermistor, as we will not use it in our setup. Finally, we remove the hot end from the gantry. Because of my previous speed drive setup, I have to do some extra steps. However, with the stock Ender 3 Pro gantry setup, you do not need to worry about this process. Once we are done with the removal of the stock elements, we need to start preparing the new equipment. First, we install the gearhead for the motor with the shown orientation. Try to have the spacing of the gear on the shaft close to what is shown. Perform a test fit of the motor to make sure orientation is correct and everything lines up properly. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I will be using a separate Bi-Metal Heatbreak as well as a heater block. I will leave a link in the description showing where I have acquired them. The next few steps show the assembly process I used for the hot end. There is a little bit of playing around and adjustment with the four main elements: the extruder, heat break, heater block, and the nozzle. Please be careful when tightening the heater block to the extruder, as the heat break is quite fragile and it can break. Therefore, do not over tighten. In the end, the goal is to avoid having any thread showing on the heat break connecting the extruder and the heat block, and have the nozzle sticking out as shown in this setup. Next, we are attaching the extruder assembly to the carriage. I found this process fiddly, but with patience it can be managed. Situation was not helped by the fact that the M3 bolts used for the mounting in this process were not provided in the package. I do believe that if you get the complete set 3 or set 4 from Mellow, this should not be a common occurrence. The M3 bolts seen here I have sourced myself. On the bright side, the holes on the extruder were pre-drilled, so no need to worry about that part. Let's make sure that the extruder is aligned with the carriage. Attach the right side of the extruder as well as the pressure flap for the filament. At this point, we start mounting the motor by using two slightly shorter M3 bolts, which are inserted in these locations prior to attaching the fan, and the longer one in this location after attaching the fan. The last M3 bolt used is only for the fan and has nothing to do with the motor. Time to insert the heater cartridge and the new thermistor. In my case, the Ender 3 Pro stock heater cartridge is used, and the new thermistor is wired in the same location on the control board as the original. We insert and tighten the set screw for the thermistor. Please make sure it is not too tight, as it can damage the device. It should be at the point the thermistor cannot be moved freely by hand. After fitting the silicone shields to the block, we also have to tighten the heater cartridge in position. We now attach the fan to the heatsink side of the extruder. I am mounting the BLT probe on the side of the extruder, and the mount used is 3D printed from a model found on Thingieverse, link in the description. Next, insert the bolt used to apply pressure to the filament gears. For part cooling, I decided to ditch the stock fan and integrate a 40/40 fan purchased separately. Cutting the old and soldering the new fan is the path I chose. Furthermore, the part cooling mount and airflow guide is 3D printed. Model downloaded from Thingieverse, details are present in the description. There you have it, a direct drive conversion for the Ender 3 Pro. A few more things need to be done in order to start printing, but in terms of hardware installation we are mostly done. I will tackle cable management at a later time, as I have plans to enclose this printer. Therefore, the cabling will become undone anyway. One more thing I recommend doing is trying to cool the thin extruder motor, as it can get quite hot. While lowering amps through software is a solution, a combination of hardware cooling and firmware update should be desired. With this goal, I have repurposed an old motherboard heatsink to cool the motor. Once prepared, I applied the thermal tape to the back of the heatsink and stuck it to the motor. While on the subject of thermal, let's take a look at what the thermal camera sees of the motor during operation. Even with the heatsink, we can reach 40 degrees Celsius. Let's also look at the hot end in terms of thermals. I have set the temp to 200 degrees Celsius, and the readings from the thermal camera seems accurate in this case. The thermal emissivity of an element can really influence the readings from a thermal camera, so don't always trust readings on the net, especially if the thermal emissivity on the object has not been taken into consideration. I will not include a complete tutorial on how to update the printer firmware in this video, as I plan to do so at a later time. However, I will go over some items that will have to be changed and addressed in order to get this new setup going. First, we have to deal with the firmware changes. The thermistor needs to be changed to 5 in my case. Next, we take a look at the heater max temp. Given our thermistor type, we can increase the max temp slightly. Third, we should enable the BL Touch and enable bilinear bed leveling. Enable Z-Safe homing. Input the nozzle to probe offset for which my values are shown on screen. Also, in my situation, I need to reverse the extruder direction and lower the current to the extruder motor. Let's define the baby step Z-probe offset. And enable the wizard as well. In terms of configuring the E-steps of the extruder, you can find some good guides online. In my case, I settled for a value of 414, which can be entered in the configuration through G-code command. Given the position of the nozzle has changed, we also need to specify the new offset. This can be done with the M206 command. More info can be found on the Marlin website. I strongly recommend also running the PID Auto-Tune, the M303 command. This will help us calibrate the new extruder temperatures. And finally, in your favorite slicer, set the retraction very low or disable it altogether based on what works best for you. With everything set, let's start printing. I must say that I am quite happy with the performance of this extruder. Everything from the quality of the manufacturing to the quality of the prints it produces reaffirms that this is a good purchase for me. If you are also looking for a direct drive conversion for your Ender 3 Pro, I think this is a good choice. That's it for this one. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment and a like, and stay tuned for the next one.